Guys, I am back, and I'm back with my best deal of 2021 so far, and it doesn't even involve a single golf club. Go and buy a second-hand one and not necessarily get stung with something that potentially is going to cost you a lot more to repair than buying a brand new one in the first place. Guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Baby boy arrived just under 2 weeks ago. Big old boy, £9.14, and we're very excited. It's been nice to be at home, spend a bit of time with obviously the wife and both babies. Well, Blake's not necessarily a baby anymore in comparison to Axel, but it's very exciting. Getting back to some kind of normality. Golf is allowed on the 29th of March, which obviously getting prepared for. Go keep on the delivery driving, definitely over this year, just in the mornings, and then teaching in the evenings, and then YouTube videos, and then trying to push on with all the plans that I obviously had for last year, but we all know how that kind of turned out. So we're in a good place, very excited for the future. And not only that, I'm going to go and pick up a golf trolley, which I found on Facebook last night on my route to go and obviously do my delivery work, for £100, and this thing is an absolute steal. And here she is. I'll show you the listing that I saw on Facebook obviously last night. £100, lithium 18-hole battery, and then an S1 electric trolley. And I'm going to talk to you, obviously I used to service these for 3 years as an assistant, so I know my way around a motor caddy trolley. And a lot of you guys that are looking to try and pick up a second-hand one, because these brand new about £550 or £499, I believe, the new current model. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks just to look out for when picking these up. I'm not going to show you how to repair them because it is quite simple to repair them, but honestly you're better off just taking it to a motor caddy service agent if you haven't done these before. But overall, when you're looking for on Facebook what year are there's a few telltale signs, and I kind of knew this is a more current model. For example, you have like the easy slide setup system, so you don't necessarily have as many latches. Lithium battery as well comes with a 5-year warranty, and the older ones had a 5-year extended, the newer ones actually have a 5-year complete warranty. And I've tested hundreds of lithium batteries. I would never go to lead acid. I don't think they make them anymore. I don't think you can get hold of them anymore. But the amount of battery testing I've done over my time, a lithium battery, very rarely, unless a component in it's gone loose, these things are just built to last. And if you're getting a lithium battery, it's going to last. So I highly recommend just getting a lithium battery regardless. But overall, this thing is immaculate. £100 is an absolute steal. I'm going to get it home later, wash it up, and then just show you a few things that obviously you want to pay attention to if you're trying to get a second-hand trolley and not be done over. And there are a few things to look out for where repairs can add up. Okay guys, we are back. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to show you exactly what techniques I use, because you can make some fatal mistakes with electric trolleys and really damage them, as well as things to look out if you were to go and buy a second-hand one and not necessarily get stung with something that potentially is going to cost you a lot more to repair than buying a brand new one in the first place. Here's some listings of what these are selling for on eBay at the moment. They normally range from 200 to 250, maybe a bit more depending on condition. As I say, they do retail for almost double that, and there was a massive shortage last year with the amount of golf or new golfers that took up the game. So hopefully I think that's going to be fixed. So I can't imagine second-hand trolleys are going to be as expensive this year, because I imagine every company is a lot more prepared for the demand this year. But obviously we'll just have to wait and see if that actually happens. Right, let's have a look at the trolley. I'm going to give this all a clean, try and get it looking good as possible. Just give you a few tips. If you were going to clean your trolley, there are some fatal mistakes you can make. Highly advised as well, don't lean up your trolley without the wheels on your axles, because they very easily bend, and if they bend, well then that's 60 quid worth of damages, as they will not be working correctly. Let me just quickly show you the wheels and a mistake you can definitely make with these. Now, I've had the pleasure of cleaning a lot of trolley wheels, especially rental ones, as an assistant, and here's my top tip. Number one, water and a sponge. That's it. Don't use any soap, don't use a jet washer, mainly because each wheel has a clutch, and I'm pretty sure this is the case for Power Caddy or any other electric trolley. That's why you have a left one, as you can see the L there, and there'll be a right one on the other side. 60% of my repairs through my career has always been swapping over the wheels as someone's put the wrong ones on, especially if they've been putting them in a bag or something like that, taking them out, giving it a clean, they put the left one on the wrong one and the right one on the wrong one, and then all of a sudden they go, oh, my trolley doesn't work anymore. That's why they all have clutches, and if you use a jet washer or pressure washer and you clear out that grease in the clutch there, you're going to knacker the wheels, and it's going to cost you £60, £70 just to get new wheels. If your trolley makes a really weird crunching sound as well, That's probably because the clutch has gone in both of these. Lastly, if you were to buy a second-hand trolley, make sure that these tyres are on the like frame or the alloy firm, because they can tend to slide, especially the older ones. And if these are spinning and that's obviously moving, then you're getting zero traction, zero power, and more likely you'll probably just end up draining the battery as you're not really going anywhere, and you're always having to use like 9 or 10 or 8, for example, on the meter. So warm water, gentle, really be careful with those, and obviously the axles over there. Wheels nice and clean, and overall adds a lot of value just to the general appearance of the trolley, as it is in really good shape. Now there is one thing that is wrong with this trolley, and also I'll talk to you about some other things that can go typically wrong with your trolley, but as I say, normally if your trolley breaks, I highly recommend just taking it to Motor Caddy service centre to go and get fixed. Here's the major fault with this trolley. Now there's no actual structural damage, but it can lead to obviously needing repair in the future, and it's pot luck with S1s. I imagine quite a few of you that are watching this has probably had this issue with their trolley in the past, and there's another space as well that you need to check the wiring. In terms of parts, it's really simple. You have a motor, control box, button, and the controls at the top there. They're all quite easy to replace. The wiring loom isn't. Now you can see here, this threading, for example, has worn away, and over time that can then lead to the wire. The wire costs £15, but it takes 2 hours or 3 hours or someone's time replacing it, so it can be quite costly if you can't replace it yourself. The manuals with the S1s or any Motor Caddy trolley are actually quite good, but I highly advise, if you want it, if that goes, then obviously you're pressing the buttons and the battery's plugged in, you know the battery's working and nothing's coming up on the screen, it's probably because of this. Or there's another space, which again they've kind of fixed with the S1s, is down here as well. There used to be that the top here used to fold, and this wire used to get cut as well, so it was either down the bottom here or at the back, as you can see. Commonly with the more newer ones though, it's just at the back here, and unfortunately it depends how tight this wiring loom has been like put in here or how loose, and it has to be perfect or just right. I've done so many of them and it's so difficult, and making sure that this doesn't move as well is obviously an issue. So whoever buys this trolley, I'm gonna have to make aware it's not really that worthwhile changing it now, but it probably might need to be done in the future, just like any other S1 trolley. In terms of the front wheel, never take the front wheel off. The only times I would mess with the front wheel is if the alignment wasn't right, and as you can see here, as you turn the wheel, it actually moves quite well. But if your trolley veers off, just use these tiny little knobs either side of the wheel, and that will obviously straighten it up. But that actually looks like it's pretty straight. I'd never take these off, mainly because it adds a lot of hassle, and this is kind of a self-locking nut, and that can easily come off, and then once you're on the golf course it goes missing, and then the rest of it comes off, and then it's just a nightmare to replace. So again, if you want to straighten up the wheel, I highly advise is moving these opposed to anything else. Lastly, if you're buying a second-hand trolley, the best test to make sure that it's kind of all in all working is really just testing the front button as much as you possibly can, as well as turning it on and off again and on and off again, because over time I've realized they might have fixed it with the newer trolleys, but if you keep pressing this button and it doesn't like give you an automatic response, either the button's faulty, which can happen, and you basically pop that out and replace it, or the motor can get stuck as well, and the motor's a more expensive fix. But making sure that it engages each time and doesn't get stuck and just whirs, for example, you're never going to know 100% sure. At the end of the day, you're buying a second-hand trolley, but it's with a test that I did right from the start, just to make sure that everything inside it's working to the best of my knowledge. Quickly, the serial numbers on the bottom of the trolley can give you a bit more information as well. Typically the first two numbers, this is Motor Caddy, I'm not sure about Power Caddy, but the first two numbers, which you can see here, 16 underneath it, tells you the year that it was actually manufactured. So this is a 2016 model. Not to say it's been used since 2016, I mean this could have sat in a shop for 2 years for whatever reason. And again, the battery as well has serial numbers on it as well. Again, if the warranty void, if removed, has gone as well, I wouldn't buy the trolley, because someone's probably tried opening it, and you don't want to buy a lithium battery that someone's obviously been tampered with. And we are done. Motor Caddy S1 lithium trolley. There was dried paint on the back here. I imagine that's fallen off a shelf in their shed or something, so I've got that off, polished up the battery, polished up the chassis, and it looks in really good shape, to be fair. I've given it as much of a check as I possibly can to make sure everything's working. As I say, when I do move this on to whoever buys it, I'll make sure that they have a warranty with it, that if it was to break or makes weird sounds or doesn't last 18 holes, I'll be more than happy to take it back off their hands, because I don't want to get someone, you will never know really until someone goes and uses 18 holes. And to be honest, it was kind of our test at the golf club. If we play 18 holes with it and it didn't make the sound or didn't stop or start or malfunction, then we know that it's probably been fixed correctly. But as I say, it's difficult to know otherwise. Overall, bit different, more for you guys just to watch out for when you're buying a second-hand trolley like this. As I say, it's not going to cover everything, but hopefully it gives you a bit more idea if that is something you're looking for this year. And hopefully you find this video somewhat helpful. So, electric trolley done. I hope that helps some of you potentially answer a few questions. I imagine it won't cover everything, but that's kind of my insights. As I say, I did fix and repair these, not recently, but for quite a long time. Back in 2016, probably when this came out. So hopefully that helped. If you did like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys later.